Roxo Media House.
Behind Madison. Snap comes back, turn, hand it off. Kittredge. Touchdown, TCU.
You are in the State of the Frogs, presented by the Railhead Smokehouse with TCU head coach Sonny Dykes. And also brought to you by Hub Fort Worth, Old Trapper Beef Jerky, Texas Health Resources, and by Cadillac. Now with the coach, here is the voice of the Frogs, Brian Estridge.
State of the Frogs starts right now here live from Coach Sonny Dykes' office. Horned Frogs coming off that big double overtime victory over what was a terrific Oklahoma State team on Saturday here at Amon Carter Stadium. The head coach is alongside. Whew, if you love college football, you got yourself a good one on Saturday. 2 overtimes, 43-40 the final, just like you drew it up, right?
Yeah, heck of a ball game. We didn't want to get down by 17 at any point like we did, and certainly didn't want to play as bad as we did in the first half. But got to give our guys a lot of credit. We battled back and made a bunch of plays and did what we had to do to give ourselves a chance to win. And, ball bounced our way down the stretch, and guys made plays and, came out with a win.
You were walking off the field at halftime, and you spoke to our own David Bowden on radio, and you said, we're just out of sorts. You just felt like you were just kind of out of sorts in that first game.
Yeah, I felt like we were. I felt like we were probably trying to do too much, maybe pressing a little bit. It was really the first time since Colorado I felt like our guys maybe felt a little bit of pressure. And so, we just went in at halftime and said, look, we just need to settle in and do what we need to do. And if we'll play well in the second half, we'll have a chance to get back in the game, and we did. And again, you got to give our players credit. They never quit, and they made plays down the stretch when they needed to.
Yeah, a lot of guys we could highlight, but to me, the most impressive group was, especially in that second half, on into overtime, was your offensive line. They really took over.
Yeah, I thought so. I mean, you could see as the game progressed that we were starting to dominate the line of scrimmage, really on both sides.
Yeah.
Thought our defensive front started to do that as well as the game went on, and. That was I thought Coach Riley and the offensive staff did a really good job. When you get down 17, sometimes you have a tendency to panic a little bit and start dropping back and throwing it all the time. And they did a really good job of just, staying with the game plan. We felt like we could run the ball coming into the game, and we ran it really well. Hats off to those guys. Kendra, I thought, really ran hard like he has. Amari.
Yes.
Amari Bailey and Amani.
I know. You can mix them all up. But Amari DiMarcano and Amani Bailey both contributed.
They did. Yeah, they both played well. Good to see both those guys, do what they do. And, it was good to see. I mean, we ran physical and blocked hard up front, and it was really good to see it.
Give me some sense as to what that headset conversation is like. You're down 17. What do you take? Because you're coaching your coaches up at that point. What are you saying at that point?
Yeah, just play like it's 0-0. I think that's the biggest thing, and that's one thing I learned as a coordinator. I'll never forget, had an opportunity we were playing Oregon one year, got down really big, had an opportunity to get back in the game, and learned really from Dana Dimmel, who was on our staff, is now the head coach at UTEP. Dana just said, hey, look, call the game like it's 0-0, and we kind of got back in the game and had a chance to win it late, and had the same advice Saturday for Garrett. Just, when you're comfortable doing what you want to do, then it's going to allow you to have some success. And so our guys hung in there well, and again, players made plays when they had to.
Related, you go down 14-0 to start the game. What's that conversation with Coach Gillespie like?
It was good. I mean, I knew our guys would get settled in. I think they had us on our heels a little bit. They hit a couple of trick plays and got a couple of big plays to start the game. Spencer Sanders got out, made a nice run, and the good thing about having experienced coaches like we do, I mean, they're going to make adjustments, and our guys did a fantastic job doing that on both sides, and knew we'd settle in, knew our players would settle in, and Oklahoma State's a fast team. I think probably a little bit faster than people we've played against, and I think it took us a little bit to get the speed of the game figured out.
Speaking of adjustments, there in the second half, it felt like Coach Gillespie dialed up the pressure a little more too. We saw guys coming from everywhere at times.
Yeah, I think so. I think we just needed to play aggressive to have a chance to get back in. We knew we needed to get a bunch of stops. And again, I think that our defense held them to 23 yards in the fourth quarter, which is really pretty remarkable. I mean, that's a high-powered offense and a group that can run and throw equally as well. And when you play a team like that, man, they're hard to stop.
I thought the law firm of Hodges and Winter had a pretty good day.
They did. I thought they played really well, and guys are banged up, and they just kept hanging in there and playing.
You pointed out you thought your corners did a good job.
Yeah, I thought they both did. I thought Trey and Josh both played really well, and just really competed hard. They didn't get a lot of balls to those outside receivers. I think a big part of that was their play at the corner position.
We give out a tough guy award post-game every game, and, you had a couple of different options this week, but a guy who could have gotten it was Jordy Sandy, too. I thought he did a nice job kind of pinning them when he had to. You made one decision to punt it that ended up working out great, by the way.
Yeah, We're a little considered a little bit going for it right there. You know, we had to get a stop. We just felt like our defense was really starting to take over, and you know, it had confidence in our defense, and then it had confidence that our offense had enough time to get the ball back and drive the length of the field, which they did. So, you know, we played complementary football, as you said. I thought Jordy punted the ball well. We covered punts well, and you know, had a chance to flip the field position different times in the game.
And by the way, when you needed Griffin Kale, he delivered 3 of them on the day.
Yeah, that was Griffin's best game. I was really happy to see him kick as well as he did. I thought he was those 3 field goals were very, very important to the outcome of the game, and he nailed all 3 of them.
Yeah, let's look at the scoring from this one. We started out, as we talked about, Oklahoma State comes up with 2 touchdowns early to open. A 29-yard run by Spencer Sanders is a true dual threat quarterback, isn't he?
Yeah, he's faster than you think he is, and he got out, got the edge, and ran away from some of our guys. And you know, you don't ever want to see that happen. I mean, you don't want to see the quarterback get out of the pocket, but it was kind of one of those weird things. You know, Johnny was trying to cover the back as he slipped out in the flat and caught us kind of in a bad spot.
The one thing I noticed about Spencer's got huge hands, so he's able to pump and react with the football that guys can't do normally.
Yeah, he's a great improviser.
Yeah.
I mean, when you see him when he gets out on the edge, he can improvise and do things with the ball. And you know, he's just a good football player. Got a lot of experience and been really successful.
All right, Max gets that first score, plunging over here from 1 yard out to get you on the scoreboard. They answer with another field goal, 17-7 at this point. And you take a deep breath, and okay, 17-7, not too bad. But then they put it up. They go up 24-7 after Richardson's touchdown run here. And folks in the stadium going, ooh, 24-7. That's where you talked about you couldn't panic at that point.
Yeah, I thought our defense did a great job of you know, getting things figured out in the second half, and we needed to go down and score to end the first half, which we were able to get a field goal. We wanted to get a touchdown, obviously, but I thought that was big to get it to a two-score advantage, and you know, we felt like we were trying to play catch up, make sure that it never got too many, you know, too far ahead. You know, where it was a 3-score game instead of a 2-score game.
Yeah, you get those 2 field goals at the end of the half. They get the football to start the second half, back and forth. Then they score again on a field goal here from 34 yards out. Then TCU really starts to click there. Something flipped there. You talked about the adjustments that were made. You get another field goal from Griffin Kale, then you get Kendra Miller's 3-yard run here. They get you in the end zone.
Yeah, it was a good drive, and Kendra finished it off, and was a really important part of the ball game for us to go down and score a touchdown at that point. Yeah,
Miller with that 3-yard run. Then the tight end with a couple of big catches here. Jared Wiley gets the touchdown here from 10 yards out.
Yeah, that was a heck of a play call. Thought it was a neat design. Thought, you know, Garrett and those guys drew up something good. Max did a good job not panicking. We had a little bit of edge pressure. He avoided the guy, made a nice throw to Jared, and Jared got it in the end zone.
By the way, I meant to ask, on the Kendra Miller, was there any discussion of going for 2 there?
You know, not really.
Okay.
Not really. I think by that time of the game, we felt like we wanted to extend the game as long as we could, just because we felt like we were starting to take control of the line of scrimmage. And, you know, sometimes in those situations you might go for 2 just to give yourself an option to win the game in regulation. Mm-hmm. Like I said, we felt like if we extended the game, it was going to be our advantage.
All right, so Wiley's touchdown ties it at 30 apiece, and things are just getting started at this point. There was also a concerted effort to get Quentin Johnston the football in the second half, and he pays off here with this touchdown reception.
Yeah, Quentin obviously made a bunch of big plays for us. Caught a post early in the game, caught this little vertical seam route that got us in the end zone here in overtime, and that was a great way to start. Anytime you can start out with a touchdown, that makes you feel good.
All right, so the Horned Frogs up here in overtime. Oklahoma State's turn. They score. I thought your defense, I thought they had them here on this drive.
Yeah, I did too. We had a little miscommunication on 4th down.
Yeah.
You know, just kind of busted a coverage, and it was unfortunate. I felt like we had a great chance to end the game there. You know, at that point of the game, we were getting a heck of a pass rush. Mm-hmm. I think we were starting to pressure Spencer Sanders pretty much every time he dropped back. They started to get a little bit out of sorts on offense, and it felt like at that point of the game we had a chance to make a play, and it's unfortunate we couldn't end it right then.
You were getting creative in that pass rush, but I tell you, Coach, your 3D linemen were getting pressure
as
well by themselves.
Yeah, we blitzed some to get pressure, but you know, by the end of the game, we were able to pressure with 3 and pretty consistently, and that was a big part of being able to stop them at the end of the game.
Second overtime period, they have to settle for a long field goal thanks to a great effort by your defense, and then you get the football, and you knew. I just felt like, hey, this is where it's going to get real physical, and you decided we're going to keep this one on the ground.
Yeah. You know, had a couple of nice runs out of Kendra. Max obviously had a really nice run. I thought he scored on that run, and then we're able to finish it off. So that was a big drive, and at that point of the game, as you said earlier, you know, I felt like our offensive line had really started to take over and had a great mentality about us, a ton of confidence that we could run the ball. And, you know, like I said, the offensive staff did a really good job of relying on the run game and dialing up some run stuff. They did a nice job staying ahead, really, most of the day with our scheme and kind of the things that we were doing. So it was good to be able to run it when we had to. I think everybody in the stadium knew we were going to run it, and when you can run it in those situations, and that's good for you.
And then it's fun to be in that mass of humanity after the game.
Yeah,
well.
it was a great way to end the game. It was exciting for our fans, and student body was awesome. I mean, just what a great atmosphere we had here Saturday. It was so much fun to be a part of it, and our players really got to take it in and got to enjoy it. And these guys have been through a lot, and so it's no fun going through a coaching change. That's hard for everybody, and it's really satisfying when they get to enjoy and celebrate a win like this.
6-0 at this point, top 10 in America. Folks starting to pay a little attention to your group. Yet you walk the halls here at the football office, and it seems no different than 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. I mean, it's good to get off to a good start, but you know how it is. I mean, always the finish is so much more important than the start, and so we'll have our hands full against a really good Kansas State team this week, and 100% of our focus is on that. And our team has a great attitude and demeanor about them. I mean, they really do. They showed up on Sunday and were ready to go to work, had a great practice, and kind of kicked the week off in the right direction. All
right, as Coach mentioned, Kansas State coming up. He'll be back with us a little bit later on. We'll start to talk about the Wildcats of Chris Kleiman. We do that as State of the Frogs continues with the head coach, Sonny Dykes, after this timeout.
The Hub Fort Worth family is a passionate, energetic team of insurance professionals that have the same common goal in mind: helping businesses and individuals protect their health, property, and financial well-being. Their objective is to maximize the options available to businesses, families, and individuals while helping you make the choices that suit each unique situation and challenge. Their clients look to them for guidance in navigating the cumbersome world of insurance and investments. Their experience and personal relationships combined with their creativity enables them to craft solutions that fit your specific circumstances. Their guiding principle is, don't tell me how much you know, just show me how much you care. Since their founding in 1966, they've enhanced their offerings to include a comprehensive range of services, including employee benefits, property and casualty, and personal lines insurance. Follow them and learn more on their social media pages. You can find them on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn at Hub Fort Worth.
Old Trapper Beefs. One-upping.
I'm a big Old Trapper fan. Not bigger than me. I love Old Trapper. I love how tender it is. Don't forget the wood smoke flavor.
What about the clear bag?
That shows you exactly what you're getting.
Savory beef.
Quality ingredients. I'm their biggest fan. I'm their
Old Trapper, what's your beef? The official beef jerky of the Big 12.
Will you sign my bag and my tattoo?
For exclusive interviews and content on TCU recruits, subscribe now at frogstoday.com. Any sport, anytime. It's your source for all things TCU. Only on frogstoday.com. Time for our Old Trapper, What's Your Beef? Our question of the week. Coach, this one comes from our man, Toby Bain. Let's take a listen.
Hi, I'm Toby Bain. I'm from Grand Prairie, Texas. Hey, Sonny, when you were at TCU, when you start first way back in the day, did they give you a parking space?
Well, legitimate question. The way parking is on this campus, and especially on game day in 2017, did you have your own space?
You know what? I did not. I did not have my own space, and I didn't even get to park in the top lot. I was a down lot guy, which it was good for me. I got to exercise a little bit walking up the stairs, and that was a great year, a lot of fun, and really kind of sold me on TCU and what a special place this is.
And look at you now. You got a good parking space.
I got a parking spot. You know, it's the first time in my life I've ever had one, so I'm excited about it. I don't take it for granted.
That's your What's Your Beef question, brought to you by Old Trapper. We're going to talk about Kansas State coming up a little bit later on, but first, it's our one-play breakdown with Coach David Bowden, and it happens next.
Old Trapper Beefs. One-upping.
I'm a big Old Trapper fan. Not bigger than me. I love Old Trapper. I love how tender it is. Don't forget the wood smoke flavor.
What about the clear bag?
That shows you exactly what you're getting.
Savory beef.
Quality ingredients. I'm their biggest fan. I'm their
Old Trapper, what's your beef? The official beef jerky of the Big 12.
Will you sign my bag and my tattoo?
Simply the best barbecue in Fort Worth. Dine in, catering, or drive-through. 2900 Montgomery, just off I-30. Remember, the best barbecue in Fort Worth is at Railhead Smokehouse.
The Flying T Club provides the everyday TCU fan and alum the ability to specifically support TCU student athletes. Flying T Club offers 3 levels of memberships. The Flying T Club is a nonprofit organization supporting the brand development of TCU student athletes through a series of unique event-based networking opportunities, which are exclusive to our members. These events provide a great social engagement tool for our members and student athletes alike. Follow them on Instagram at Flying T Club or online at flyingtclub.com.
Texas-based Happy Water offers the best-tasting, sugar-free kids drink ever made. Happy Water comes in 4 delicious flavors that you can find at local retailers and on Amazon. Each pouch contains 0 grams of sugar, 0 calories, and 0% juice. Head to happydrinks.com for more information and to purchase Happy Water. That's HAPI Live happy, be happy, drink happy.
Back we come here on State of the Frogs right now. Time for our one-play breakdown as we bring in Coach David Bowden back at the Flying T Club studios. All right, 2 minutes left in this game. Horned Frogs trailing by a score here. Garrett Riley draws up a terrific throw from Max Duggan to Jared Wiley. But it was the scheme of this one that really set it apart, Coach Bowden. We heard Coach Dykes talk about it earlier on that play call. Give me some sense as to how Jared Wiley got so open on this score that ends up tying it.
Yeah, certainly a really cool and neat play design here by Garrett Riley and staff. And came at just the right time, just what they needed with under 2 minutes to go. And so let's just take a look at this here. They started off, and they actually shifted pre-snap. So this was Max Duggan and Amari DiMaccardo here. They shifted, so it was a direct snap to Amari once he was under center. So they snapped it to him, and then immediately Amari handed it to Max Duggan. On the backside, the only guy to block here is coming off the edge. Amari put himself right here, so he picked that one up as soon as he handed the ball off. Really tough job there, but got in his way, and that's all the Frogs needed. The offensive line did a good job just flattening everything out. It's not, it looks like outside zone, but they're not trying to overtake anyone. They're just trying to flatten everything out and to make sure that there's no penetration here. Okay, and then Darius Davis shows the reverse. So he comes in, does a good job clamping down as if he's gotten the reverse, and of course, the way he's been running lately, he's going to command a lot of attention, and certainly did on this one. But what that also did was, because Oklahoma State was in man-free, so the man underneath, you can kind of see where they're matched up here, that's brought this safety all the way over with him, so it cleared out this area. And so, that was going well. The other thing is, and you asked about Jared Wiley and how he got so open, that was part of it. They also had Savion Williams here running at the toes of the free safety. So he's running at the toes of the free safety to sort of create a rub situation here. So you had all this area wide open, but also Jared Wiley showed block, right? So he showed as if he was blocking here, created a rush. So Max kept it, and then he snuck out late to the flat, and then from there, Jared Wiley did the rest, and he was able to stay in bounds, a great individual effort to finish it, and go down by just 1 point at that time, kick the extra point, and we all know the rest at that point. It was a exciting play, and it came at just the right time for the Frogs.
Nice job there, Coach Bowden. I gave you a loaded multi-part question, I know. Thanks for covering that one for us. Coming up next, Coach Dykes is back with us here from his office. We'll start to break down the Kansas State game as the Frogs and the Wildcats meet on Saturday night. We'll do that after we do this.
Simply the best barbecue in Fort Worth. Dine in, catering, or drive-through. 2900 Montgomery, just off I-30. Remember, the best barbecue in Fort Worth is at Railhead Smokehouse. Say hello to the water of tomorrow. Richard's Rainwater. Richard's Rainwater is 100% rain, refreshing, renewable, and the only ingredient we use in our water. Why rain? Because everyone deserves access to clean water, and rain is a 100% renewable resource available everywhere. Drink the rain. Save the planet. Shop now at richardsrainwater.com.
Old Trapper Beefs. One upping.
I'm a big Old Trapper fan. Not bigger than me. I love Old Trapper. I love how tender it is. Don't forget the wood smoke flavor.
What about the clear bag?
That shows you exactly what you're getting.
Savory beef.
Quality ingredients. I'm their biggest fan. I'm their
Old Trapper, what's your beef? The official beef jerky of the Big 12.
Will you sign my bag and my tattoo?
Welcome back into State of the Frogs as the head coach is back alongside with us here and Sonny Dykes' office. And let's talk about Kansas State a little bit. 5-1 on the season. Chris Kleinman's team. The thing that stands out about them is this is a team that, well, they don't hurt themselves, do they? They are very well coached.
Yeah, never make mistakes. Take on his personality, I think, in a lot of ways. They're a physical, tough, no-nonsense football team, and really similar to Bill Snyder's teams back in the day. They're gonna run the ball. They're gonna have a quarterback that can typically run. They're gonna be really, really fundamentally sound defensively, not give up a lot of big plays. They got big, rangy athletes running around out there on their defense and a really physical offensive line. So it'll be a big challenge for us.
Yeah, and they also have a quarterback who has been exceptional. Adrian Martinez this year, 546 yards on the ground, 9 touchdowns. That's on the ground.
Yeah.
Throwing the football, he's thrown for 900 yards, 4 scores, 0 interceptions. Doesn't make mistakes, completing 62% of his passes. He looks like an NFL quarterback.
Yeah. Adrian's a really good athlete, really good player, really nice kid. Got to know him a little bit. I recruited him when I was at Cal, and he was coming out of Fresno, and got to know him pretty well. So, super kid. I'm glad to see him have the success he's having. Not surprised at all. I think he's a great fit for Nebraska's offense and their scheme, and really for the personality of their team.
Speaking of scheme, Colin Klein's the offensive coordinator, and I think he's doing an exception. He's throwing a lot of different looks, yet he's also utilizing the personnel that they have very well.
Yeah. I mean, he's done this before. I mean, he's run this style of offense. He's executed it well. He's done a nice job calling plays and building around their talent, like you said. And they're a team that's going to execute. They're not going to make a lot of mistakes. They're not going to turn the ball over very much. They're going to maximize possessions. They do a nice job on third down of ensuring that on second down, too, of ensuring they're not in third and long, and also, too, getting creative and getting some yards so they can go forward on fourth down. So really good offensive scheme, and they do a lot of different things to challenge you.
I think you're going to see the 2 best running backs in the league this week, Kendra Miller and then Deuce Vaughn, who just he's a weapon for them. Yeah,
he is. I mean, different kind of running back, small and quick as can be, and got great ability to make plays in the open field. I mean, he's fun to watch. He really is. He's not fun to play against. He's certainly fun to watch. But he can create himself, and again, he runs behind those big offensive linemen. Sometimes hides behind those guys. It's hard to see and hard to find sometimes.
Seems like he's been there about 10 years. Deuce Vaughn at Kansas State.
Yeah, he's been making a bunch of plays for them for a long time.
Defensively, they don't get enough credit. This is a team that turns people over. 9 interceptions on the season, and they can cause trouble as well. They've got 16 sacks as a team this year already.
Yeah, to me that's the thing that stands out. I mean, they pressure the quarterback, and they get you into making some bad decisions and making some bad throws, and throwing off balance, out of sorts, off time, all that thing, and so. Their DBs do a really nice job going up and competing for the ball and making plays on it. So it's a challenging group. I mean, they have a very, very good football team, a team that's really hard to beat.
Always have a smart linebacker, too, and Austin Moore is that guy, leads them in tackles, 41 on the year. He's a solid guy back there.
Yeah, he is, and athletic, more athletic than you think, and he runs around well. And can make a ton of plays.
And since Coach Snyder was there, special teams has always been a priority Willigan this year, right?
Yeah, they do a nice job in the kicking game, very solid. Always have a good return. I mean, their kickoff return is one of the best in college football, and they do a nice job of that part of their game.
Had the night game against Tarleton, but you get it here now for a Big 12 matchup with Kansas State. You looking forward to the atmosphere here?
Yeah, I am. I mean, if it's anything like Saturday, it's going to be awesome, and I anticipate it being a night game. It's even going to be better. So certainly going to need it. This is going to be a big challenge for us, but we're excited about it.
By the way, the key to this game may be the team that makes the least amount of mistakes. Your team has been pretty good, penalty-wise and turnover-wise this year.
Yeah, we're getting better. I think we are. I think we're improving, playing, a little bit more disciplined, I think, than we were before, and understanding just how important it is to not create issues for yourself. I mean, that's the biggest thing for us. We don't want any pre-snap penalties. We've got a lot of stuff we got to get cleaned up still. I mean, the good thing about our team is that we really haven't played to our potential at any point yet, and we really played well together at times on Saturday, and we're going to need to do that this week.
All right, best of luck, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
Excited
about
it. Sonny Dykes, it is State of the Frogs in Kansas State coming up on Saturday night at 7 o'clock here at Amon Carter Stadium. We'll be back with you next week with highlights of that one and a preview. Yeah, you know what's coming up. We'll talk about that one next week as well. And when State of the Frogs comes back to you, have yourself a great week. For Sonny Dykes, I'm Brian Estes.
Roxo Media House.